just being in 110 degrees heat, your body actually loses about 1 litre of water every hour. And that's before you even start thinking about walking or climbing or moving.
The longer I'm exposed to the full strength of the sun, the greater the danger. And the most important part of the body to keep cool is the head and the brain.
I remember learning this really good trick for improvising like a headdress, a sun hat. And if I use this white t-shirt here and then just cut one side of it, and all I'm doing is cutting all the way down one seam and then opening it out. And then I've got a good length of material here, and all I do is just wrap it around my head. And if I twist this nice and firmly at the side of my head, pull it round tight, pull it round my face, and then tuck it in on its own knot. And this will keep the sun off me and will save me getting burnt to death.
To give you an idea of how dangerous this heat is, the body's internal temperature is usually 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the body's core temperature hits 105, you've got heat stroke. When this happens, you become confused, the body goes into convulsions, and you can fall into a coma.
I don't know if you can see this, but this whole place really is Mother Nature at her most unforgiving. And this desert has to be one of the hardest places in the world just to stay alive for any period of time.
This entire region was once covered by a shallow sea and just teemed with life. That was 200 million years ago, but now it barely gets 9 inches of rainfall a year. And all the creatures that once thrived here are extinct. I don't want to join them. I'm hoping to find water in this canyon, and I also think it could lead me to a river and back to civilization. But first, I need to get down into it. This edge is too steep to climb, and it's too wide to jump. But if I can use this giant boulder as a bridge, I might be able to find a way down on the other side.
But I've got to be pretty careful crossing this, just because these boulders can sometimes be unstable. This sandstone is flaky, and also it's a long way down here.
Utah climber Aaron Ralston was trapped by a boulder like this when it fell on him in a remote canyon. To escape, he had to cut his own arm off with a penknife.
And the key to climbing is always to keep at least 3 points of contact with the face, and try and use your leg power as much as you can, rather than your arms.
I've made it across, but there's still no sign of a way down. And if I don't find water soon, I could be at serious risk of dehydrating. Before I can think about making a new plan, I need to get out of the sun, but the nearest shade is a rocky outcrop an hour's hike away, where I might find a cave.
In this midday heat, even this headdress, it's just getting roasting hot, and I've got to think of some way just to keep my head cool. And what I can do, though, is take this off and then pee on it. And it's pretty gross, but it's also not exactly going to smell very good. but luckily there are not many people out here to be exactly very bothered. And it's really yellow pea, which is a sign that I'm definitely getting pretty dehydrated now. But at least this should keep my head a bit cooler. And at the moment my head's just on fire. And yeah, it doesn't smell great. But this is really nice and cooling. It's better.
This headdress will keep me cool for a bit, but I desperately need to get into the shade.
I'm getting really hungry now, and I need something that's just going to give me some energy and some food. And this is just the sort of place, this little gully, that birds or ravens would be nesting. And if I could just get myself one of those, it would be amazing.
Catching a bird without a trap is nearly impossible, but I might be able to find some eggs. Bird dropping some feathers will give away their location.
There's a broken eggshell here, which means there is definitely a nest somewhere up here. And look, there's more here. And it could well be on that ledge. Here we go. And this looks like a chukka's nest here. And these eggs are bigger. These are more like ravens' eggs, and this is what ravens do. They'll tend to drive a little bird away from its nest and then lay its own eggs in it. But either way, I'm going to eat these. I'm going to have one now. I'm going to keep one for later.
All bird eggs are edible. Even the shell is a good source of calcium. And I'm so hungry I can't help but eat it raw. But there is a risk of catching salmonella, so I'm going to try and cook the other one.
It's probably about 120 degrees out here in the heat at the moment, and this is undoubtedly the hottest place I've ever been in my life. Well, that's one of the best scrambled eggs I've had.